we're all doing very well today. I'm out here in nature for this video, and I'm thinking something I want to share for anybody learning how to do inner engineering and connect with your higher self, your intuition, which is a guide that exists within oneself. When you learn how to communicate in different ways. There are many different ways you can operate, but some of the tried and true practices, are what is known as the language of the universe. You can get your own little languages working too, but we're all kind of operating in the same world. So if I was to tell you that if you want to catch signs that the universe is working with you and guiding with you, I would tell you that you need to open up ways to allow them to communicate. So one valuable one, animal spirit guide, is the idea that when an animal or an insect or a bird or a fish or something comes across your path along your journey, maybe at a time when you're walking in contemplation with questions, trying to figure out the right path, your next move, looking for some sort of sign that I'm on the right track, or should I do this? Maybe I need to do that instead. When we're in that crossroad of life, sometimes the universe will send the signs, but if you haven't yet developed the formula to be able to understand them and realize them, or even to allow your intuition, which it's always with you, it's guiding you, it knows when you're doing the practices to start communicating better, because you're like taking on whatever, reading, watching videos, joining Stand Free, spiritual guidance. And Stand Free is saying, hey, animal spirit guides, how do I operate with that? Nothing you have to get too deep with. We're all carrying a smartphone these days. It's very convenient. So if you just make it a habit, even if in the beginning it doesn't always have to be because it has to mean something. But beginning the practice of, if something comes across your path, if you spot a bird in the sky, or say a robin, and you say, I want to look up, well, I see a robin. What's the robin mean as a spiritual animal totem? What's the robin saying? So you Google the spiritual meaning of a robin. A bunch of different things will pop up. Find one that jives. You don't want one with too many flashing ads or anything on it. I find some screens can have that. Some are just simple. They give like a one paragraph, the meaning, then they go deeper into it as a totem, as your spirit guide animal, which that's all great. I think all the animals are guiding me spiritually. I try not to latch on to any one, but there's one that I'm fond of for sure. Maybe that's my totem, but you'll figure out your own. But just by allowing yourself to begin to learn them, just when you just decide you see an ant crosses your path, you look up an ant. The ant's very good. I love the ant saying, it's more of it's about community, putting in some effort and work into a community, and it'll say some different things. Something in there may align with you at the time, or may not. As you go forward, if you would do this, at random, a couple times a week, when something does occur, if a deer runs by, or you spot an owl, you hear an owl out in the tree, why not look up the owl if you're in the mood? So these little practices, right, allows the intuition to know that you're taking some time out and you're pausing and you're trying to see if there's something in that animal message for you. You'll know if there's a message inside of your reading of an animal spirit guide, because something will align with exactly what you're going through in your mind at the time, or how you've been thinking, and you'll get that sensation within that says, okay, this makes sense. I get it. Thank you, universe. So sending this little message. It's not world changing, you might shut your light off and go to bed, but you connected that information. Spiritual guidance shows up when you're asking for it, when you're looking to receive it, when you're choosing to work with your intuition, and it's valuable, and that relationship, you are continuing to work with it. So it works in many different ways, your intuition. That is just one simple practice you can add into your repertoire of ability to communicate with the universe. Your intuition is the guiding force behind your communication with the universe. It helps draw in, push out whatever doesn't align with your purpose anymore. That's the one thing about when you start to work with your intuition. It's going to move you in different ways if you really put the true energy into it at different intervals of time throughout a week's course. You don't have to be spiritual all day, all night. Your mind, you need to go and sometimes just do the basics.